you taking Artem lightly?
Good question, right? I sound like I am, right? Yeah. No. 100%. Good observation. No, I'm not, because I do think there's risk factors in this fight, and the risk factors are the unknown. You know, there is the unknown for myself. You know, there's the clinch and whatnot, and I know he's overplaying the whole clinch, because to get me in the clinch, you actually have to get to me, and so to close the gap on me is not that easy, and he knows that. Also, he's got 2 left feet, so closing the gap is even harder for a guy like that. He doesn't have the greatest footwork, but of course, do I not think about it? Of course I think about it, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think about it as much as he'd like me to think about it. But of course, it keeps me from taking the fight lightly, because there is the unknown there, you know what I'm saying? Also, when you ring the bell, in a boxing match, you get to walk to center. You kind of get into your zone during that initial few steps you take to center ring. Right here, you may have to fight right off the jump, or you may have to take a step back off the jump. You know what I'm saying? So it depends. So of course there's reasons to not take anything lightly in this sport, especially when you haven't taken part in it, and I haven't taken part in it. So I've been fully focused, and I'm fully addressing all the possibilities as well. No matter how much the trash talk I talk, it's not out of respect for Artem. For me, it's out of respect for the sport.
Paulie, you talked about motivation, that you found your motivation finally for this fight, but you were also kind of non-committal of whether you wanted to do it again. Is that part of just to see how it feels afterwards, or to see maybe what comes out?
Well, yeah, because every fight has an individual motivation, you know. So I found a great motivation for this fight. There was several things motivated me for this fight, but of course, you know, you've got to find that motivation all over again for the next fight, you know. And then ideally, I could see myself doing it again, but I can't. I don't want to promise it, and then suddenly I don't do it again, you know. Or I don't want to say I don't do it again, and then I do it again, you know. So you know, I take it. We'll see how Saturday feels. We'll see how it feels on Saturday, and then from there, you know, I'll probably still won't make a decision. I probably still will kind of take some chill time for the summer, and then figure it out later.
I feel like he keeps talking about your hands. That you don't have the hand durability. Can you talk about that? Do you think that's going to be a factor, or something you don't know?
I've had hand operations, but I haven't had one in 10 years. You know, well, actually 11 years is my last hand operation. So my hands have been healthier the second part of my career, you know. But I also think Artem needs to hold on to certain things in order to give himself confidence. Here's at the end of the day what you're dealing with here. This is a guy who's used to losing. Okay, he's used to losing, and then the psychology of losing becomes a part of you. You don't think twice about like the kind of tough opposition. Hey, yeah, if we lose, we lose. We just fight, because we lose. We're used to losing already, right? That's somebody like him. That's how the subtle psychology starts to take place. So for Artem, he needs also to give himself some subtle confidence. He needs to reach out for things like, his hands have been hurt. You know, he doesn't have a lot of knockout power, even though with bare hands. I mean, come on, bro. Every pro boxer with bare hands is a puncher. And then, you know, he's trying to give himself confidence in any way possible, because, you know, he needs to. You know, he doesn't have. He's got to grasp for straws at the end of the day, and I think ultimately it's more of a knock on him than it is a knock on me. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like we have to grasp for anything or over worry too much. Yes, we've had hand issues. Yes, there are issues in general with every fighter at certain points or another, right? I mean, that's just what happens. But you don't really think about that. You know, like I always try to think about my opponent as he's going to bring the best version of him possible, you know, on Saturday night or whatever night I'm fighting, you know. Regardless of how much trash talk I think, if I approach it that way, I can't take my opponent lightly. You know what I'm saying? So Saturday night, whatever the best version of Artem is, I feel like he's gonna bring it. I don't think there's a best version. I think there's a tough version. You know, like I think Artem will be extra motivated and be tough on Saturday night. But I don't think he's gonna suddenly pop up with skills that he hadn't shown us before. You know. But of course, like we talked about before, there is the unknown that you try to prepare for, and you get yourself ready. But he's grasping for straws. At the end of the day, he's grasping for straws, because ultimately, when you've lost like this constantly and repetitively in your career, you know who's gonna whoop your ass. And Saturday night, he knows he's gonna get his ass whooped Saturday night. He's just talking a good game because he wants to sell pay-per-views so he can make his biggest purse yet.
Touching on the hand issue, I know a lot of MMA fans feel that's going to be a big factor in the fight. You put your piece on it, but do you think they're overlooking the amateur experience you have, the world championship experience you've had at a different level in terms of striking coming into this fight?
I'll be honest with you. If they're MMA fans, the only thing they know about me is what Conor and Artem have talked. So, and Artem just talked a bunch of bullshit. So you know, if they don't actually watch boxing or follow boxing or actually watch my fights or follow my career, the conclusions they come to are really just lying to themselves. And and they're gonna make the bookies a lot of money this weekend. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure that plus money on Artem Lobov looks really tempting to them if they think that I'm that limited. You know, a big winner this weekend is gonna be the bookies too. You know, if that's really the case. But I don't really worry about who's underestimating me or not, because ultimately, praise doesn't win you fights, and criticism doesn't win you fights. You or yourself, your fists, your brains, they win you fights.